Welcome back, and I am today doing a quick review of chapter 2. But instead of telling you about the chapter, I'm going to make a clarification. So, one of the biggest challenges I had writing this book was learning more about my grandfather on my mother's side. His name was Andres Garcia, and we all knew him as Papita or like Little Potato. Um, I have some details in the book about that in particular, but we didn't know a whole lot about his career and what he was most known to us besides being a great grandfather. And it was that he had worked for some years with Fidel Castro. And I asked my mom, my uncles, and there was not really a whole lot of details about this job and this period that he worked with Castro. All we knew was that prior to, he had been a factory worker in a crackers factory in Havana, a man with third grade education, and then apparently he joined the Orthodox Party, one of the many political parties at the time. And then next thing we know, he is working in Fidel Castro's house. And how that happened, we have no clue. He never shared details, and I guess it's a function of that generation of not talking much about themselves. And my family, my relatives never asked. The clarification I want to make in regarding chapter 2, it's that I mentioned in the book that my grandfather was a bodyguard of Castro, and that has always been the term that we used around the family when talking about grandpa. However, just recently I had another conversation with one of my relatives in which she was able to put together a few more details, and it seems that my grandfather was not necessarily responsible for Castro's life and security, but more of the house management of the house where one of the houses where Castro lived in Havana. So when my grandfather was in charge of providing, bringing foods and any beverages to the home, sort of like maintaining the pantry full, as well as other house maintenance and house supporting roles. Not quite sure much more than that, other than just not a bodyguard per se. I believe my family was using the term as a general term, bodyguard, but it was not, he was not the person responsible for Castro's safety. My grandfather, however, was fully loaded all the time, wearing a gun to his hip, fully loaded, and very stressful as we can all imagine, but not a bodyguard. Perhaps on a second release of the book, I will make such clarification. But for now, I think this suffice. And any questions, comments, I'd love to hear it. Again, the book is available on Amazon. Thank you all for your support. I've had a couple of interviews in Spanish for the release. Oh, here it is, of the Spanish version of this very book, and that's going well. I'm very excited about that. All right, thank you so much. Keep following and post your comments.